All right, listener, welcome to your personalized deep dive.
Huh.
Today, we are all about helping you totally crush that forest worker job interview.
Yes.
I bet you are so ready to trade in that keyboard for some hiking boots and
Yeah.
those spreadsheets for like actual trees.
Absolute.
So to get you there, we have got like a treasure trove of resources.
Right.
A really comprehensive career guide that's packed with all the industry insights.
Yes.
A laser-focused interview guide that's just loaded with sample questions.
Yeah.
And then our secret weapon, RoleCatcher's AI.
Ooh, I like that secret weapon.
We will get into that a little bit later.
Very cool.
But first, I think about when I was a kid and like these massive trees just blew my mind.
Yeah.
It's like, how can something be so big and so strong and so old?
Yeah.
And it's just like a whole different world up there.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what's so cool about what forest workers do. They get to be a part of that world every single day.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fascinating how technology is changing the way we approach everything, even something like forestry.
Right.
But before we get too into the digital tools, I think it's really important to ground ourselves in the reality of the job.
I love that, grounding ourselves in the reality.
Yeah.
So what does that reality look like? Like, what does a day in the life of a forest worker actually look like?
Okay, so picture this. You are out in the crisp morning air, surrounded by these towering trees.
I love that.
Yeah. And your tasks for the day could range from, planting tiny seedlings and carefully pruning branches to monitoring for pests and diseases, or maybe even collecting data on forest health.
Oh, wow.
And some days you might be operating heavy machinery to clear trails,
Okay.
or even using drones for aerial surveys of the forest.
Wow. So there's like a tech element to this too.
Oh, absolutely.
That's really cool.
Technology is really changing the way we approach forestry. It's pretty amazing.
I love that.
Yeah, it's not just hugging trees anymore.
Yeah.
You need physical stamina, you need technical know-how, and you really need a deep respect for nature's delicate balance.
Yeah. Speaking of that delicate balance, the career guide mentioned the increasing threat of invasive species.
Oh, yeah.
That must be a major concern for forest workers.
Absolutely. Invasive species can completely disrupt entire ecosystems.
Yep.
So forest workers are often on the front lines of identifying these threats and then figuring out how to control them.
Wow.
So, your job could involve anything from manually removing invasive plants
Okay.
to implementing these really sophisticated biological control programs.
That sounds like a real-life ecological puzzle.
It is. It's like a constant challenge.
Okay, well, let's shift gears a little bit and dive into that interview guide.
Okay.
It is packed with 10 sample questions, specifically designed to test your readiness for this role.
Awesome.
Are you ready to tackle some of these?
Bring them on.
Okay, question number 1.
All right.
What inspired you to become a forest worker?
Oh, a classic.
It seems straightforward,
Yeah.
but I bet there is more to it than meets the eye.
You're spot on with that one.
Okay.
So this question, it's a golden opportunity to really showcase your genuine passion for this field.
Okay.
Don't just say, oh, I love nature.
Right.
Dig deeper, share a specific childhood memory, a captivating book that you read, or maybe a volunteer experience that really ignited your desire to work with trees.
Yeah.
Remember, interviewers, they're looking for that enthusiasm. They want to see that spark
That spark.
and a clear connection between your personal values and the role itself.
So it's about storytelling, not just reciting facts.
Exactly. Storytelling is key. And, be prepared for follow-up questions.
Okay.
They might ask you about your long-term career aspirations within forestry, or even how your values align with the company's mission.
Oh, yeah?
This is where RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful.
Okay.
Because it can analyze the company's website, their values, and give you talking points that resonate with their specific culture.
That's like having a personalized cheat sheet for the interview.
It kind of is, yeah. It's like having a secret weapon
I love it.
to help you prepare.
Okay, question number 2. How do you ensure safety while working in the forest?
Okay.
This one feels crucial.
Absolutely.
It is crucial.
Given all the potential hazards.
Yeah, you remember a forest worker's office is the great outdoors,
Right.
and that comes with its own set of risks.
Absolutely.
So the interviewer wants to see that you are safety conscious and aware of those potential hazards.
So what are some key points that our listener should emphasize in their answer?
Highlight your knowledge of safety protocols,
Okay.
both general and specific to forestry.
Right.
Mention the importance of wearing proper protective gear,
Okay.
conducting thorough risk assessments before you start any task.
Right.
and knowing what to do in emergency situations.
It's not just about knowing the rules, it's about demonstrating that you'll apply them diligently.
Exactly. And be prepared for scenario-based follow-up questions.
Okay.
Like, what would you do if you encountered a wild animal while you're working alone?
Oh, yeah.
Or how would you respond to a sudden change in weather conditions? Okay, so being able to think on your feet.
Exactly. And again, RoleCatcher can be really valuable here.
Okay.
Its AI can analyze real-life safety scenarios and help you craft responses that demonstrate your quick thinking and problem-solving skills.
That's like having a virtual safety expert by your side.
Kind of is, yeah.
Okay, moving on to question number 3. How do you manage time and prioritize tasks in a fast-paced work environment?
Good one.
This feels relevant to pretty much any job,
Right.
but I imagine it's especially important in forestry, where the work can be unpredictable.
Yeah, you are right on with the one. Force work often involves juggling multiple tasks, unexpected challenges, and, things are always changing.
Right.
So the interviewer really wants to see that you can handle the pressure and stay organized.
So what's the secret to a winning answer here?
Specificity.
Okay.
So talk about your proven time management strategies.
Okay.
Do you use to-do lists, project management apps, or a specific prioritization system?
Right.
Share examples of how you've successfully managed competing deadlines in the past.
Maybe from a previous job or even a volunteer experience.
So it's about showcasing your organizational skills and your ability to adapt to changing demands.
Exactly. And don't forget to mention how you handle unexpected disruptions.
Okay.
A good follow-up question to prepare for might be, tell me about a time when your workday was derailed by an unforeseen event. How did you adjust your plans and still meet your objectives?
That's a great one to practice.
Yeah.
And speaking of practice, I know RoleCatcher can help with that too.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your responses to these types of questions and give you feedback on clarity, conciseness, and relevance.
Okay.
It can even offer suggestions for incorporating keywords that align with the specific skills they outlined in the job description.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, on to question number 4. What experience do you have in tree planting and pruning?
All right. Getting into the specifics now.
Yeah, this one seems pretty straightforward.
It does.
But how can our listener really make their answer stand out? It's all about showcasing your hands-on knowledge and passion for the craft.
Okay.
Don't just list the tasks you've performed.
Right.
Dive into the details. Describe the specific techniques you are familiar with, the tools you've used, and the challenges you've overcome.
So if they've planted 100 trees, they should talk about the process, not just the number.
Exactly.
Right.
Talk about soil preparation, spacing considerations, the proper way to handle seedlings, and the steps you take to make sure those seedlings survive.
And for pruning, they could highlight their knowledge of different pruning techniques.
Yes.
And their understanding of why pruning is essential for tree health.
Precisely. And be prepared for those follow-up questions that really test your depth of knowledge.
Yeah.
They might ask, what are the signs of a diseased branch? Or, how would you approach pruning a young tree versus a mature tree?
It's about demonstrating that you're not just a casual tree enthusiast, you're a skilled practitioner.
Right. And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can help you fine-tune those answers, ensuring you're using the right terminology and conveying your expertise confidently.
Okay, let's tackle question number 5. How do you maintain equipment and tools used in forest work? I'm sensing a theme here. Safety and responsibility seem to be big priorities
You are catching on.
in this field.
You are definitely catching on.
So how?
This question is all about demonstrating that you are not only skilled at using the tools,
Right.
but also that you are meticulous and responsible when it comes to taking care of them.
So it's about showing that you're not afraid to get your hands dirty.
Right.
And that you understand the importance of preventative maintenance.
Exactly.
What kind of answer would really impress the interviewer here?
So start by highlighting your understanding of routine maintenance procedures.
Okay.
For all those forestry tools, from chainsaws and brush cutters to climbing gear and hand tools.
Right.
Talk about the importance of regular cleaning, inspection, sharpening, and lupination.
Be specific.
Be specific, yes.
So instead of just saying, I clean my tools regularly,
Right.
they could say, I always inspect my chainsaw chain for wear and tear, and I sharpen it every few hours of use.
Exactly. And don't hesitate to mention any experience you have with repairing equipment.
Oh,
Maybe you've replaced a chainsaw chain or fixed a broken handle.
right.
That shows you're resourceful and proactive.
And what about potential follow-up questions?
They might ask you about the specific maintenance requirements for a particular tool,
Okay.
or present you with a hypothetical scenario, like a malfunctioning piece of equipment.
Okay.
Be prepared to think on your feet and demonstrate your knowledge.
Okay. Question number 6. How do you work effectively in a team environment? This one feels pretty universal.
Yeah, it is a pretty common one.
But I imagine teamwork takes on a whole new meaning when you're out in the wilderness, potentially miles from help.
Absolutely, you are right. Teamwork in a forest setting, it's about more than just getting the job done.
Right.
It's about safety communication and relying on each other in potentially challenging situations. It's like a symphony of skills where each member plays a crucial role
I love that.
in achieving a harmonious outcome.
So what are the key points to hit when answering this question?
Focus on your communication skills and your ability to collaborate effectively.
Okay.
Give specific examples of how you've contributed to successful team projects in the past.
Okay.
Talk about your willingness to listen to others' ideas, share your own, and work towards that common goal.
It's about showing that you're a team player, not a lone wolf.
Exactly. And emphasize your ability to give and receive constructive feedback, handle conflicts professionally, and just maintain a positive and supportive team dynamic.
What about follow-up questions? What might they ask to dig a little deeper?
They might ask you to describe a time when you had to work with a difficult team member,
Oh, yeah.
or a situation where you had to adapt your communication style to different personalities.
Okay.
So be prepared to share specific examples that demonstrate your interpersonal skills and your ability to navigate those team dynamics effectively.
All right, let's move on to question number 7. How do you identify and control invasive species in a forest environment? This one feels a little more technical,
It is.
but it highlights the ecological knowledge that's so important.
Absolutely. Invasive species are a major threat. So this question is designed to gauge your understanding of the issue
Okay.
and your ability to contribute to solutions.
What kind of answer would really impress the interviewer here?
Start by demonstrating your knowledge of common invasive species
So,
in the region where the job is located.
right.
Describe their characteristics, their potential impact on the native plants and animals,
Right.
and the methods for identifying them.
So don't just rattle off facts. Show genuine concern for the ecological balance.
Exactly. Show that passion and then dive into control methods.
Okay.
Discuss techniques like manual removal herbicide application with proper precautions, of course,
Of course.
prescribed burns or biological control agents.
no.
Explain how you would assess the situation, choose the most appropriate method, and implement it safely and effectively.
And what about follow-up questions? What might they ask to test your knowledge further?
They might ask you about specific invasive species management strategies.
Go.
The ecological principles behind those strategies or the potential challenges and ethical considerations involved in controlling invasive species.
Okay.
Be prepared to discuss the complexities of the issue and demonstrate your understanding of that delicate balance
Right.
within the forest ecosystem.
We have covered a lot of ground already.
We have.
From safety protocols to invasive species, we have tackled some of the key challenges that forest workers face.
Yeah.
But we are just getting started. When we return, we will delve even deeper into the interview guide, exploring even more insightful questions and revealing the secrets to crafting those compelling answers
Yes.
that will make you stand out from the crowd.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive, listener. Before we jump back into those interview questions, I just want to touch on something from the career guide that really stood out to me.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
Did you know that forest workers can hike up to 10 miles a day,
Wow.
often carrying heavy equipment?
10 miles. That's like hiking a small mountain every day.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so those hiking boots are not just for show.
Not at all.
It really highlights the physical demands of the job.
It does, and it emphasizes the need for stamina strength and, genuine love for being outdoors.
Right.
It's not a desk job, that's for sure.
No, it's not. Speaking of not being a desk job,
Right.
let's get back to those interview questions.
Okay, let's do it.
We left off on the importance of teamwork.
Right.
Now let's dive into question number 8. How do you prioritize safety while also completing work tasks efficiently?
Oh, that's a good one.
This feels like a delicate balancing act,
It is.
especially in an environment as unpredictable as a forest.
You are right. It's a crucial question because they want to see that you understand that safety is paramount,
Right.
but so is getting the job done
Yes.
effectively.
So how can our listeners strike that balance in their answer?
They need to demonstrate a proactive and methodical approach to their work.
Okay.
Explain how they would assess potential hazards before starting any task.
Okay.
Plan their steps carefully and use the right tools and techniques to minimize those risks.
Okay.
It's about working smart, not just hard.
So it's not about rushing through tasks to meet deadlines. It's about finding that safest and most efficient way to achieve the goal.
Precisely. And, communication is key as well.
Right.
Highlight how you would maintain open communication with your team, share any safety concerns, and double-check each other's work.
So everyone is safe.
Exactly. It's about fostering that culture of safety where everybody's looking out for each other.
What about potential follow-up questions? How might they delve deeper into this whole concept of safety and efficiency?
They might present you with a hypothetical scenario.
Okay.
Like, imagine you're on a tight deadline to clear a trail, but you notice a potentially hazardous tree. How would you handle this situation?
Okay.
So be prepared to explain your decision-making process, emphasizing how you would prioritize safety without compromising the task's completion.
That's a great example. It really forces you to think through the complexities of the job.
It does.
Okay. Moving on to question number 9. How do you maintain a positive attitude in challenging work conditions?
Oh, I like that one.
This one feels especially relevant for a job that involves physical exertion, unpredictable weather, and sometimes even isolation.
Absolutely. The career guide really emphasizes resilience as a key quality for forest workers.
Okay.
Interviewers want to see that you have the mental and emotional stamina to handle those challenges.
Yeah, because there are going to be challenges.
There are definitely going to be challenges. So how can our listener convince them that they've got what it takes to stay positive, even when things get tough?
Right.
Honesty and authenticity are key.
Okay.
Acknowledge that forest work can be demanding.
Right.
Then focus on the aspects that bring you joy and fulfillment.
Okay.
Is it the connection with nature,
Yeah.
the satisfaction of completing a challenging task,
Right.
or the camaraderie of your team?
Right.
Share specific examples of how you've maintained that positive attitude in past work experiences.
It's about finding those personal anchors
Yeah.
that keep you grounded and motivated,
Yeah,
even when the winds of adversity are blowing.
exactly. And be prepared for follow-up questions that delve into your coping mechanisms.
Okay.
They might ask, tell me about a time when you faced a particularly stressful situation at work. How did you manage your stress and stay focused?
That's a great one to practice.
Yeah.
And, RoleCatcher can be really helpful for practicing these types of questions.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
It's AI can analyze your responses not just for the content, but for tone and delivery,
Oh.
helping you project confidence and resilience. It's like having an interview coach
In your pocket.
right in your pocket. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the final question in this set. Describe a time when you had to resolve a conflict with a team member.
Another classic.
This one is a classic interview question,
It is.
but I imagine it takes on new significance in a forest setting where teamwork is so essential for safety.
You're absolutely right, because in a forest, a conflict isn't just a disagreement. It could actually become a safety hazard if it's not handled well.
Right.
So how should our listener approach this question?
Right.
Choose a specific example of a conflict that you've resolved successfully in a team setting.
Okay.
Describe the situation honestly, but focus on the steps you took to address the issue and the positive outcome that you achieved.
Okay.
Highlight your communication skills, your ability to listen empathetically, and your willingness to find that common ground.
It's about showing that you are a problem solver, not a problem creator.
Exactly, and emphasize your ability to stay calm and respectful even under pressure.
Right.
And don't be afraid to acknowledge your own role in the conflict.
Okay.
Taking ownership of your actions shows maturity and a willingness to learn.
What about potential follow-up questions?
They might ask about your general approach to conflict resolution or how you would handle a hypothetical conflict
Okay.
specific to forestry.
Okay.
Like they might say, imagine you're working on a tree planting project and a team member is consistently planting the seedlings incorrectly. How would you approach that situation?
That's a great example.
Ah,
It forces you to think about the practical application of your skills
yeah.
in a real-world scenario.
It does. And again, RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful for practicing these types of questions,
Okay.
giving you feedback on your clarity, conciseness, and ability to address their concerns.
Now, before we move on, I want to highlight another important insight from the career guide.
Okay.
It mentions that technology is rapidly changing the field of forestry.
Right.
We talked about drones earlier. Yeah.
But did you know that some foresters are even using tree climbing robots to collect data and perform tasks in those hard-to-reach areas?
Tree climbing robots that sound straight out of a science fiction movie.
I know, it's pretty cool.
I guess it's a good reminder that even a job as seemingly traditional as forestry is evolving.
It is, and it emphasizes the importance of adaptability and a willingness to embrace new technologies.
Speaking of embracing new technologies, let's talk about RoleCatcher
Okay.
in more detail.
Yes.
We've touched on its AI-powered feedback and practice tools, but I'd love to hear more about how it can help our listeners specifically tailor their answers to this job.
Right. So RoleCatcher's AI, it goes beyond just generic interview prep.
Okay.
It can analyze the specific job description for this forest worker position,
Oh, wow.
identify the key skills and keywords that the employer is looking for, and then provide you with suggestions for incorporating those elements into your answers.
So it's like having a customized interview prep guide.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
And it doesn't just tell you what to say, it helps you craft those answers
Okay.
in a way that's authentic, engaging, and memorable.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
Exploring the realities of the job, tackling those interview questions, and even tapping into the power of AI to really enhance our preparation.
Absolutely.
But we're not done yet.
Not yet.
When we return, we'll delve into the pros and cons of this fulfilling career path, helping you make an informed decision about whether it's the right fit.
Yes.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to the deep dive. We explored, what it's like to be a forest worker day to day, tackled some of those challenging interview questions,
Absolutely.
and even discovered how AI can help us really prep for that interview.
Yes.
Now let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
And talk about the heart of the matter.
Right.
Why would anyone choose this path?
Yeah.
What are the rewards
Right.
and the challenges that come with dedicating your life to the forest?
It is a question worth pondering. The career guide, it paints a vivid picture of both the sunshine and the shadows of this profession.
I like that.
So let's start with the sunshine.
Okay, let's bask in the sunlight for a moment.
Okay.
What are some of the most compelling reasons to become a forest worker?
All right. So imagine this. You wake up every morning
Okay.
and you step into your office,
Okay.
which happens to be a breathtaking expanse of towering trees and pristine streams.
I love it.
And you're surrounded by the symphony of nature's sounds.
Right.
That connection with nature, it is a really powerful draw for a lot of forest workers.
Yeah.
It's a chance to escape those confines of a cubicle
Yeah.
and breathe in the fresh air both literally and figuratively.
That definitely speaks to the nature lover in me, but it's not just about pretty scenery, is it?
No, it's not.
The career guide also highlights, physicality of the job.
Yes, forestry is a physically demanding profession.
It is.
You are constantly moving, hiking, lifting, and using your body
Yeah.
in ways that, most desk jobs just don't require. So for those who crave that active lifestyle
Yeah.
and enjoy working with their hands, it's incredibly rewarding.
Right.
It's a chance to build strength, stamina, and a deep appreciation for the power of nature.
So it's a career that's good for both the body and the soul, and there's that sense of purpose, right?
Yes.
The feeling that you're making a difference.
Absolutely. Forest workers, they are on the front lines of environmental stewardship.
Yeah.
They're planting trees, restoring habitats, preventing wildfires, and ensuring the health and sustainability of our forests for generations to come.
That's gotta feel good.
It does.
And the career guide mentions the possibility of specialization, right?
Yes, that's right. As you gain experience,
Okay.
you can choose to focus on specific areas of forestry that really pique your interest.
Right.
Maybe you are fascinated by the science of tree care and want to become an arborist, or maybe you are drawn to the challenge of managing wildfires.
Right.
There's a whole world of possibilities within this field.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Okay, so we've basked in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the shadows, the challenges that come with this job.
Okay.
The career guide doesn't sugarcoat the realities
No, it doesn't.
of being a forest worker.
Right.
What are some of the downsides that potential candidates need to be aware of?
Well, as we already discussed, forestry is physically demanding.
Yes.
You're working outdoors in all kinds of weather.
Yeah.
Scorching heat, freezing cold, rain, snow.
Everything.
Everything. You got it.
Right.
It's not a career for those who prefer the comforts of climate control.
So you need to be tough, resilient,
Mm-hmm.
and have a genuine love for being outdoors no matter what.
Exactly. And the work can be dangerous.
Right.
You are dealing with heavy equipment, working at heights, navigating uneven terrain,
Right.
and potentially encountering wildlife. So safety is paramount.
Absolutely.
It requires constant vigilance
Yeah.
and a deep respect for those potential hazards.
So it's a career that demands both physical and mental toughness.
It does. And The career guide also points out that starting salaries can be relatively low, especially for entry-level positions.
So it's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Not at all.
It's a career that you choose because you love it.
Exactly. And, depending on the region and the type of forestry, work opportunities might be limited
Okay.
or seasonal.
Right.
So this can make it challenging to find steady employment.
It sounds like a career that requires a combination of passion, resilience,
Yeah,
and a realistic understanding of the challenges.
absolutely.
But for those who are drawn to the forest and possess those qualities, it sounds incredibly rewarding.
It is. It's a chance to connect with nature, make a difference, and build a career that is both physically and intellectually stimulating.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what is the key takeaway for our listener who is considering a career as a forest worker?
I would say forestry is a calling. It's not just a job. It's a career path that demands a deep love for the outdoors,
Yeah.
a willingness to work hard, and a commitment to environmental stewardship.
And if you possess those qualities
Yeah.
and you're ready to embrace the challenges,
Yes.
then a career as a forest worker might just be the perfect fit.
It could be.
And remember, listener, you've got RoleCatcher in your corner
Yes.
to help you navigate that job search.
Absolutely.
Prepare for those tough interview questions and ultimately land that dream job in the forest.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.